Okay, brothers and sisters, welcome. Did Daniel pre-exist? What the heck am I talking about? I think most people are aware of some Christian doctrines that the Messiah pre-existed, that he was up there co-creating with the Father, the firstborn of all creation, right? The beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Elohim. That Word became flesh. They couple that in John 1:1 with this here in Colossians. But let's take a deeper dive into what Paul is saying in regards to the Messiah. And it's not about pre-existence, but about preeminence, about forethought. If you look here in verse 14, it says, "In whom we have redemption, through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins." Verse 15, "who is the image." That word image is icon, so it's likeness. It's his likeness. He is the likeness, like it says in Philippians, that he is in the form of Elohim, which means likeness. It means he is a representation of what Elohim is. And that likeness, we also are created in that image, that we should be like Elohim, that we should represent him, that we should be manifest in the flesh, in the likeness of our Elohim. So the Messiah as well is the image of the invisible Elohim, so he is invisible. It says here that he's the firstborn of every creature. Now, here's where people stumble. They say, oh, look, see, he existed of every creature. Well, we need to understand this first, that we just read, Elohim is invisible, and it says here's the firstborn. So was Elohim the firstborn? Nonsense. This word firstborn is prototokos, right? That's the firstborn of all creation. Now, is this talking about all creation from the beginning of time, or could it be talking about something else? Let's keep reading. Verse 16. "For by him," so that word by is the word en, which means in. So in him, like in covenant with him, were all things created. Now, is this all things from the beginning of time, or is this something else? Let's keep reading. "That in heaven and earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers, all things were created by," there's the word by, which is through here. Dia, through. So in him and through him and for him. That's the word into, ice, into, towards him, towards. The context is saying all things are created in, for, through. He's the purpose of all of this creation. But what creation? Keep reading, verse 17. "And he is before all things." That word before is pro. So you have prognosko, which is for knowledge. The word pro, we just read in protokos, is to have positioned before in preeminence, not necessarily in created of time, but before. He has preference. He's preferred before all things, and by him, that's in him, all things consist. Not all things exist, but they consist. These things continue. They consistently move forward. And he, verse 18, he is the head of the body of the church. So here we are coming into this context. He's the head of the body of the church, who is the beginning, 7:4-16, the arche. He's the beginning, the first one, the firstborn, what? Of all creation from the dead. That's the context. What creation? The creations from the beginning of time? No, the creation of this new body, this church. He is the head, the beginning, the first one, the arche, to be risen from the dead, and all things that he might have preeminence. It's that word. So before, he has preeminence to be the firstborn, to rise from the dead into his new spiritual body, the firstborn of all this new creation, not all of creation since the beginning of time. We know that Adam is the first man. not the Messiah. The Messiah is not the first man. The first man is Adam. The last Adam is the Mashiach, the Messiah. He is the last Adam, the firstborn from the dead to be brought into the new creation. What are we talking about, this new creation? Look down here at 2 Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if any man be in Messiah, be in covenant with Mashiach, he's a new creature, a new creation. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. So that's the new creation. Same thing, Galatians 6:15. None of these things matter. It's the new creation. We're part of this new creation. He's the firstborn, the head of the body of the church, to be resurrected into this new creation. And principalities and powers, all of those things consist because of the Messiah. So what are we talking about here? How does this relate to Daniel? Well, take a look at Daniel chapter 6, verse 3. It says, this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes because of an excellent spirit was in him, and the king thought so to set him over the whole realm. Realm is a kingdom, right? So in the same way the Messiah was preferred, so was Daniel. Daniel was preferred. It says that he had an excellent spirit. This word excellent, yatir, it's preeminent. So he has preeminence, he has preference, just like our Messiah was preferred and had preference over all the kings, over all of mankind. He is the firstborn of creation into this. So Daniel, in that same vein, when we look at the New Testament in light of the Old Testament, we understand that the Messiah, in the same way that Daniel was preferred and had an excellent spirit, so did our Messiah. And Yahuwah preferred him before anyone else to be risen into this new creation that we are a part of. Praise Yah, amen. So when we see the whole Bible in its context, this makes a lot more sense. I hope this blessed you. Please like, please share, please subscribe. See you next one. Shalom.